Hi guys, welcome back. It's Emma. If you're new here, I literally say the same thing in every single intro and I apologize, I'm just like not that creative. This is something that I always forget to say and I need to start saying. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's at Emma Bischoff. I will put it on the screen. It's just like way more convenient for you guys because I say when I'm uploading like ahead of time. I set like little timers sometimes so it'll like notify you on Instagram, and I post on Instagram so you guys can see a little bit behind the scenes of my life. It's just a great way for me to communicate with you guys other than like YouTube or Snapchat or whatever. So make sure you follow me on there so you can see all my videos when I upload and posts. That brings me to today's video. Recently, if you saw my last vlog, I graduated from high school, so it got me thinking, okay, what can I tell them that I kind of wish I knew before high school, or stuff that I learned in high school. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I will be sharing like my regrets, things I learned, things I saw other people do that I was like, ugh, don't do that. I've compiled a list. It's quite extensive, but very helpful, and just things that I personally wish I knew before high school. So this is going to be a long list, so let's get into it. I'm sorry if you've like watched other videos like this and I repeat something that they've said, but just know that it's an extra important thing if we're both saying it, you know? That brings me to my first point, which is one, focus on school. Obviously you're there to do school and to prepare you for the next stage in your life, whether it's military, trade school, work, or college. Everything is just easier if you get good grades. If you're in classes that challenge you, it just will help you no matter where you go. Just don't be that kid who takes all regular classes, gets C's and B's or C's and D's, and you just like can't do anything with that. Like you're just mediocre, and there's no reason to be because it's high school. Like anybody can succeed at high school. There's so many tools and literally people giving you so many baby steps on the way to do well. So I don't think there's any reason to not do well in high school other than like lack of effort, which I suffered from that too, so wish I knew that. I wanted to add that obviously there are other things influencing kids outside of school. Like if you have a really rough home life, like if you're in foster care or your mom's in the hospital, or there's just something else going on, obviously that can be detrimental to your school life, and I'm not talking about that at all, and I completely understand that. I've been there, and I know it's hard to get your grades up if something seriously bad happens, like you get sick for 2 months. Like I understand that. That's not what I was talking about at all, and I'm sorry for being very general. The next thing I said was to develop a hobby outside of school, and just something besides like school, like besides your classes. Do something that makes you happy on the side, so that way you're not just like burnt out, super like depressed, and you just hate high school. Like have something that makes you happy. Like for me it was YouTube or makeup. Those both really made me happy, and they helped me through hard times and stressful times and sad times. So just have something that you can kind of lean on outside of school that you will carry on with you after high school as well. It's kind of like a time to develop yourself, I think, and figure out who you are and what you like. There's just a lot of opportunity for that. So try to find something outside of school that makes you happy. These next two kind of go hand in hand, and the first one is be confident. I feel like I've always tried to just exude confidence or just appear confident. Even if I wasn't feeling confident, I was really like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Especially moving to a new school. It was so scary, like not knowing anybody in a class, and then the teacher being like, okay, let's get in groups for our group project, and I'm like, I don't know anybody. In that moment, I had to be, okay, I'm gonna be confident. If anybody asks me, I'll just be like, yeah, sure, I would love to be in your group. Like just walk in with confidence, smile, and keep your head up and answer questions. Just let your voice be heard, be confident, because once you fake it, like eventually you will be confident. And I can say that I'm very confident now in like who I am and my appearance. It's just like so much easier when you like yourself, you know? The next one is don't let people treat you badly. At my old school, at my new school, I had people who just weren't very nice, and whether it was very blatant or very like tucked away, very like calculated, people just aren't nice in high school because they're all insecure, they're going through their own stuff, and they take it out on other people. And I don't blame them because I've done that at times too, but that's no excuse for people to treat you badly. like stand up for yourself. Like if somebody's calling you a whore in the hallway, be like, hey, I'm not a whore. Stop saying that to me in the hallway. Like if you want to talk about things, like let's talk about it, but it's not okay for you to treat me badly and say these things that are false. Like it's just not okay. And if you need help, go get a teacher, tell administration, tell your parents, tell another friend. I mean, in some cases, like at my old school, if you tell administration that somebody's harassing you or bullying you, they won't even do anything. But in most cases, people will help you. It happened to me a lot, and I wish I would have just stood up for myself, but I just didn't want to create more drama. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't want to give them attention. I don't want to validate what they're saying. But really, at some point, you have to be like, hey, stop calling me a bitch. It's not okay. It's not nice, and it tears you down. And then if you're like me, you deal with it internally, or you don't deal with it, and it just sits there and weighs on your mind, and you just become depressed, you become anxious, you don't want to go to school, and it's just not okay. So don't let people treat you badly, don't let people bully you online, in person. And that brings me to my next point, which is if you have an issue with somebody, confront them about it. I'm not saying go punch them in the face, don't go on social media and trash talk them. Go up to them and be like, hey, like I've heard this, I think we're kind of having an issue, like can we talk about it? Let's work through it. Like I know this sounds so cliche and we learn this stuff in elementary school, but the amount of times that I had an issue with somebody and because I just went up to them and was like, hey, either you did this and I really didn't like it, it hurt my feelings, or hey, I'm really sorry that I did this, it wasn't fair of me. It resolves things so much easier and you feel better about yourself afterwards. And that builds character when you own your actions, or when you call people out on mistreating you, like I said earlier. Sorry if my voice is like shaking, I'm talking a lot, I'm talking fast, and this is a topic that I don't really like because I know people are making fun of me. Do what makes you happy. Like I said, develop a hobby. High school is so hard because you're being constantly scrutinized for doing anything slightly different or slightly out of the box. And now I feel like it's easier to kind of be yourself and be open, but it is still hard. Like it's scary putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, but do what makes you happy. Don't keep toxic relationships. I feel like high school is just like this big whirlpool of like toxicity, and we all just get caught up in it so quickly, and it's hard to escape because you see the same people every day and you don't want to have issues with them, but you want to be happy. Like it's just so hard to juggle all of these things. But I found that if you're in a friendship and they're not treating you right and you just don't want to be friends with them, you don't want to be around them, then end the friendship. Just be like, hey, I need some space. I can't be your friend anymore. Or like, we need to take a break. I need to be around other people for a little bit. Or confront them. Like I said earlier, say, hey, I have these issues. Like, let's try to work through them. And if you can't, then just cut it off. And the same thing goes for relationships. If you're fighting constantly, you're arguing, you're being jealous, you're trying to get back at your partner, you shouldn't be doing these things in a relationship, especially in high school, because that's where you form your first idea of relationships. And if you're forming it off of like cheating and lies and jealousy, unknown betrayal and everything, like it's just not gonna work out and you're gonna get hurt. And that's no way to have a relationship, especially when you're 16 years old. Like it's very hard to deal with. So just don't keep any toxic relationships, no matter how hard it may be. You will be happier after it's over. I promise you, like 1,000%. These next ones are like kind of more practical. My advice is to get a job because it keeps you busy, it keeps you humble, it gives you responsibility, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm moving up in the world, I'm becoming an adult, I can get a job, I can provide for myself, I can buy my own gas, and it's just nice to have something that's yours. Like your friends will visit you and it's super fun. Get a job, and then after you get the job, save your money. Like don't spend it on clothes and shoes and food and movies and like doing everything with your friends. Like save some of it because college is very expensive and you're gonna want to do stuff on the weekends, but you're not gonna have time to have a job in college most likely. So save your money and it will help you later on in life. My next advice is to not vape. This is like an epidemic in our generation. It's so easy to vape, it's so easy to get addicted, and there's just no reason to. There's so many chemicals that are harmful to your body that we don't even know the effects of yet because they're so new, but a vape is 3 times more potent than a pack of cigarettes. Like one little vape cartridge is as potent as 3 packs of cigarettes. You're spending a lot of money, you're deteriorating your health, you're addicted to nicotine. I don't understand why people are okay with like being owned by something, like having to go to the bathroom every 20 minutes to hit it real quick. You don't get anything out of vaping. Like, at least if you're smoking weed or something, like you're getting high. But I don't understand the vape culture, and it's super harmful and it's hard to escape. Just being around it, I know I don't have a strong will, so if it was around me, I would easily try it. I would easily get addicted, and there's just no reason to do it. The owner of Juul went to Stanford, and I guarantee he does not Juul because he knows how horrible it is for his body. He knows how expensive it is. He knows how stupid it is to vape, and you're gonna have heart issues and die at the age of 30 from a heart attack. Like, go you. Sorry for my little like mom moment, but I hate vaping so much. Like, I feel so bad for people who are addicted to vaping because it's extremely hard to stop. Vaping really. Next thing, going along with spending a lot of money. If you're one of those kids who is fortunate enough to have parents who are wealthy, or like you have a nice house, or you drive a nice car, you have nice bags, or whatever it is, you have a nice Gucci belt, just be humble and mindful that that is not your money. 9.9 times out of 10, you did not pay a single cent for what you're flexing. Be humble and remember that your parents are the ones who worked their butts off for that money, and they were nice enough to gift you that. Like, don't flex on kids for driving like a 2003 Toyota Corolla. Like, it's a first car. It doesn't need to be a brand new Jeep Wrangler. Like, it doesn't need to be a nice ass Mercedes. I get embarrassed for people when they're flexing these nice things and it's because their parents paid for it. I don't understand the correlation. You didn't work at all for it. No one cares about material ass stuff. Your stuff doesn't make you cooler. The way you treat people matters. The way you talk to people, the way you feel about yourself, like your self-confidence matters. And you don't need stuff to like look cool to people and think you're above everybody else, especially when your parents have paid for it. It's embarrassing. Like, get a job, for real. I'm living in Southern California, Orange County, one of the wealthiest counties in our country, and it's just like mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what people do here. And it's like, I live here too. Like, obviously I'm not poor or whatever, but I don't try to like flex on people. Like, that's so embarrassing to me. I was not raised that way. I was raised to just like wear t-shirts and not give a flying freak about what people think about you based on what you have. And then my last one to wrap it all up is be nice to your parents and spend time with them, because you're going away and you're leaving the nest and you're not gonna have as much time with them. And just let them know that you love them, because they're providing all this nice things for you to whip, and appreciate them because they're awesome and they put up with your crap. So love your parents. Sorry if I seemed like really negative and like preachy. Those were all the things that I saw in high school that were just like cringy to me, or I wish I knew that I did. Like, advice to people going into high school. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too like weird or like, Emma, chill, you're being crazy, but I do it for you guys. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload. Yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for spending the 10 minutes to watch this video, and I will see you next time.